Good morning, dear students. This is Sampat Bhadu, Assistant Professor of English, Government College, Sri Dungargarh, Bikaner. Today we are going to take up part 4 of the poem Rabbi ben Ezra. Let's take up the next text. And I shall thereupon take rest, ere I be gone once more on my adventure brave and new, fearless and unperplexed. When I wage battle next, what weapons to select, what armor to endure. Rabbi ben Ezra says that when the period of youth, full of storm and struggle, will come to an end, he will take rest in his old age. After that, he will die and march confidently ahead in his spiritual voyage in a disembodied form. In his old age, he is fully prepared for the journey in the next world. Old age is a period of rest. Man has struggled hard in his youth, and he pauses in his struggles and takes rest in his old age. In this way, he recoups his energy and prepares himself for fresh struggle in the life to come. His struggle in the next world is bound to be an easier one. He would not have so many cares and worries, for he knows what is good for him and how he should struggle for it. He would go fearlessly to his battles in the next world, for now he knows that what weapons he should use and how he should protect himself from evils and temptations. According to Browning's philosophy, just as youth is a preparation for old age, so life in this world is a preparation for life in the other world. Let's take up the next stanza. Youth ended, I shall try my gain or loss thereby, leave the fire ashes, what survives is gold, and I shall weigh the same, give life its praise or blame. Youth young, all lay in dispute, I shall know being old. In this stanza, Rabbi says that a proper assessment of the activities of youth can be possible only in old age. Rabbi will judge in his old age what he has actually gained and what he has failed to acquire in his life. Everything will be like crystal to him in his old age. The Rabbi further says that now his youth is over and he has grown old. He is in a position to look back calmly at his life and from a correct estimate of his success or failure, what he has lost and what he has gained. He has gained wisdom and understanding, and so he now knows that though the passion of youth and its energies have been lost, there is left behind the pure gold of wisdom and experience. He can now calmly assess his life and judge what he has been praiseworthy in it and what bad and undesirable. In youth, he remained lost in doubts. He could not judge the real worth and significance of his life. Now that he has grown old, he has acquired the necessary discrimination to form a correct estimate of his own life. Thus, old age is valuable. It is the period of calm thinking when a man judges dispassionately his own achievements. Let's take up the next stanza. For note, when evening shuts, a certain moment cuts, the deed of calls the glory from the grey, a whisper from the west shoots, add this to the rest, take it and try its worth, here dies another day. Rabbi says that In the evening, our works come to a close. One more day is added to the past, but before the darkness of the night sets in, there is a faint glow of the twilight. Old age represents the twilight of life. Before the darkness of night, death descends on us. We have the time to review our activities in old age. Rabbi compares old age to evening, the close of day. Rabbi draws the attention of the young man that when evening falls, the work of the day is brought to a close, or we stop our activities in the evening for a short time. In the evening, sunset glow changes the gray sky into red. The sunset admonishes us that the day has become a part of the past. We muse on the good or bad acts which have been done during the day. Similar is the case with old age. In old age also, all the deeds of one's youth are revived in calm perspective, in calm introspection. Gains or losses of youth are calculated dispassionately and calmly. Next, Sindha. So, still within this life, though lifted over its strife, let me discern, compare, pronounce at last, this rage was right. I the man, I the main, that acquiescence vain, the future I may face now, I have proved the past. Rabbi advocates that the old man must survey his whole life before he gives us the ghost and pass judgment on the proper utilization of the opportunities offered to him during his life. This will give him courage and strength to face life after death. Just as the close of day is the time when one ponders and muses over his failures and successes during the day, so old age is the time when a man examines his past calmly. Old age is the time when the struggles of life are over and man has leisure to scrutinize, judge, and pronounce judgment over his past life. When looking back over his youth from the vantage point of old age, a man realizes that some of his passions and enthusiasm, some of the ideals for which he struggled hard were wholly right, completely accurate, while he was wrong and foolish in his acceptance of some particular point of view. In this way, he can form a comparative estimate of the success or failure of his life. He realizes that the experience through which he has passed, the struggle he has undergone, would be valuable to him in the life to come. He can, therefore, face the future with confidence, for his skill and wisdom have increased. Life is a continuous whole. Youth is a preparation for old age, and this life itself is a period of preparation for the life to come. In Browning's philosophy, it is experience which counts and not success or failure as such. Now, let's take up the next sentence. For more is not reserved to man, his soul just nerved to act tomorrow what he learns today. Here, work enough to watch the master work and catch hints of the proper craft, tricks of tools through play. According to Rabbi, all that man can do in this life is to learn by experience and use that experience for the betterment and enrichment of life. In this life on the earth, man can only get a glimpse of God's plan as regards the destiny of man. He can get occasional glimpses of God's perfect work in his life on the earth. Man is the only one of the creatures who can benefit from his past struggles and experiences. The wisdom and experience acquired through the struggles of youth prepare the human soul and give it courage and self-confidence to face the future. What he learns in this life, he can put to good use in life to come. In this life, more is not given to man than to watch providence at work. An apprentice learns the masteries of his craft and the use of his tools by watching his master at work. In the same way, man should watch the working of providence, develop his faculties, and learn the art of living. This life is meant for gaining wisdom through struggles and experiences which prepare the soul for the life to come. Let's take up the next stanza. As it was better, youth should strive through acts uncouth toward making, than repose on aught found made, so better is exempt from strife, should know than tempt further. Though wettest is wet death, nor be afraid. The period of youth is the proper time for action and struggle. Old age is the period of repose and rest. Man in his old age should not be tempted into vigorous activities of youth. Just as old age follows, so death follows old age. In youth, it is better that a man should struggle to achieve his ideals, his ambitions, even though often his ways are clumsy and wrong. Even such a struggle, though a process of trial and error towards some noble achievement, is preferable to a passive acceptance of what already exists and has been achieved by others. Just as youth is a period of struggle, so old age is a period of rest. In this part of life, there should be no further struggle. Rather, the old man should judge and examine, and in this way acquire wisdom and understanding. He should learn to discriminate between good and bad, just as in youth a man prepares and waits for old age. Similarly, in old age he should prepare and wait for death. He should not fear death, for the experience and wisdom he has gained would be of great use to him in the life to come. That's all for today, and have a nice day. Thank you.